told that I wasn't going to get hyped up too much before I came up here. So
Well,
I'm going to try not to be a disappointment. So if there's two things that I really love in life, I like speeches, I'm kind of corny, so this is true, I really do love these two things. I really love a good metaphor and a good story. So since my remarks are going to be a little short, I'm going to go ahead and throw both of these at you right now. Open with a metaphor, follow with the story. And I'm going to hope that at the end of my remarks it comes together in a coherent point. If it doesn't, we'll worry about that when we get there, so let's just hope that that's what happens. So my metaphor. I'm working as a teaching fellow in 2009 during the worst depression we've had since the Great Depression. And I'm feeling the pressure, I'm feeling the heat. My story. My father grew up in a small town called Hayton, Missouri. It was a very small rural town. It was like 2 square miles, about 3,000 people lived there. And for those of y'all that don't know, there's a very large difference between rural poverty and urban poverty. My father literally grew up dirt poor, but he didn't let that affect him. My father worked hard, he took care of all the things that he needed to take care of, and he ended up enrolling at the University of Missouri in Columbia. Financial times, hard times hit. My dad ended up having to drop out of school. He had to go to the Air Force, but he's not somebody, if y'all know my father, he's not somebody to be deterred from what he wants to do. And he ended up having a great career in the Air Force. He was honorably discharged, moved to Washington, and graduated with his bachelor's degree from Eastern Washington University. So fast forward a few years to when I was in high school trying to decide where I wanted to go to college. I had 3 full ride offers, track scholarships to different schools, but I didn't want to go there. You know, it's kind of hard telling your parents that you want to turn down free money for education. So I sat down with my father and I told him, Dad, I don't want to go to these schools. I don't want to be a student athlete in college, and I want to go to a larger school. He looked at me and he said, son, don't worry about it. Do what you want to do. You figure out a way to get in, I'll figure out a way to pay for it. So my parents were in that weird bracket where we made too much money to get a lot of financial aid. We didn't make enough money to pay for all 3 of us to go to school. I had an older sister who was in college at the time, so I kind of fought my dad about it. How are we going to pay for it, Dad? How are we going to pay for it? How are we going to make this work? And he said something to me that I'll never forget. He said, son, never let something as trivial as money stand in the way of your dreams or what you need to take care of. A year later, I enrolled at the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor, which is the most expensive public university in the country. So I made a choice. So a couple years later, I thought I was going to have to follow my father's footsteps when financial times hit. In between my sophomore and junior year, 3 big things happened. My sister had a baby. My brother lost to the track scholarship that he was supposed to have, and they didn't tell him he didn't get it until he moved into campus, was in the dorm, was already taking classes, and I lost my job. So I didn't know what I was going to do. I was thinking, I'm going to have to drop out of school, I'm going to have to move back home, I'm going to have to go to community college, I'm going to have to take time off, I don't want to go to the military, I don't know what I'm going to do. But I remember my father's words, son, never let something as trivial as money get in the way of what you want to do. I stand here before you today as an alumni of the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor. So when I was asked to come up here and speak about my experiences and the successes I've had with Citizens for Citizens schools, my father's message really resonated with me. And I thought that, man, this is really a perfect thing to say, to intertwine and tell each and every one of you about today. Because the fact of the matter is, we can't afford to do that as an organization. Because consciously or unconsciously, the public education system in this country let a trivial thing like money get in the way of educating students a long time ago. And though I'm not naive enough to think that we don't need money to do the work that we need to do, I understand that Citizen Schools is fueled by something different. We're fueled by something that you can't follow in the Dow Jones Index or read about in the Wall Street Journal. We're fueled by something that can't be measured, even quantified in dollars and cents. And that's our passion. Our passion to do the work that we do, our passion to come into these positions, to work with students and sustain us through all the hard times that we're having right now in this economy. So I really believe that passion is infectious. I believe that people respond to the passion in others. And I really feel like that is what my experience with Citizens for Citizens schools has been. Because one thing about these financial times, it gives us the opportunity to be creative, to think outside the box, to do more than just come up to people and ask for some money so we can do great work. Because there's a lot of different organizations that are doing great work. The majority of the money that I raised at Citizens for Citizens schools came from self-proclaimed broke college students who wanted to help. They may not have the time to help, they may not have the resources to help, but they gave a little bit of the little that they had to support me and to support Citizen Schools. And I really believe that's our job, to take the stories, to personalize the fundraising, to let people understand that we're doing a great thing. And I really believe, like, I'm humbled to come up here and be told that, you know, I'm an inspiration and all that, but I don't believe it has anything to do with me. It's about the great product that we're selling. It's about the great work that we do. It's something that I believe in. It's something I know that y'all believe in. The Secretary of Education believes in it. And there's hundreds of other people who believe in it as well. It's our job to find those people, to communicate with them, and show them that they can come in and they can have a voice, they can have a role, and they can help us however way they might be able to. So I know right now times are hard. I know all of us are feeling the pressure, all of us are feeling the heat, but one thing I do know, with excruciating amounts of heat that we can't even imagine, and kilobars of pressure, I don't even know what that measurement means, but kilobars of pressure, a little piece of coal can become a beautiful diamond. And if all of us are feeling pressure, all of us are feeling heat, just imagine what we can become. Thank you.